All right, so that code is um, for your home plate tonight. It's study guide 6X. Okay? Yay. Thank you, Mr. Q, for preparing us. Yay. Yes. Be nice. No bullying. Here we go. Number one, it says, a tourist superstore is selling a video game for a special price. The store receives shipments on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Here they are. So how many total shipments did they receive? 3 of them. What is the total for the shipments? Let's see. 9 plus 5 plus 6, that's 15. Plus 2, that's 17. I got 1. 5 and 6, that's 11. So it's 117 games. These are all coming into the store. They're all positives. You're going to combine that with everything that leaves to be a negative. The table shows the number of video games shipped to the store and the number sold during the week. Use the information to add an expression and simplify to find the number of video games the store has left at the end of the week. So we add all these. This is 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 4. That's 12. Carry 1. Is that correct? All right. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 102. Combine those. You have 117, but 102 were sold, so we're left with what? 15. So therefore, 15 games are left in the store. 10Q. Hands if you got that. Okay. Number 2. Let me zoom in. Copy this one. Parentheses, m to the second, n to the negative 2, parentheses to the negative 2. Open parentheses, m to the negative 2, n to the second, parentheses to the negative 3. Can you get the right light, please? I think by now we should be able to see, right? Yeah. All right. So for this one, don't forget, check and see if there's anything that does not have an exponent. Put a 1. If not, distribute. Whoa. Sorry. Distribute, we get m to the negative 4, n to the positive 4 times, distribute, m to the 6, n to the negative 6, multiply, same basis. What happens to the exponents when we multiply? We add, so what is negative 4 plus 6? 2. These are the same base, n. 4 plus negative 6 is negative 2. And can we leave it with a negative exponent? No. This one goes where? In the denominator. So m to the second over n to the positive 2. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Go to number 3. Copy that. We got parentheses 3fg to the 6, close parentheses to the second, parentheses fg to the 4th. All right. Once again, do we have any without exponents? Yes. Put a 1 on all the variables or numbers that do not have an exponent and distribute. So this is 3 to the second, f to the second, g to the 12th times distribute f to the 4th, g to the 4th. All right, let's multiply numbers times numbers, variables times variables. Is there another number over here? No, so we have just 3 to the second. What is 3 to the second? 9. These are the same base. You write f. What happens to the exponents when we multiply? We add 2 plus 4, that's 6. G, same base. 12 plus 4, that's 16. And we're done. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. On to the number 4. Yeah, let's go. It says, there are 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms in 1 gram of hydrogen. How many atoms are there in 600? So in one of them, write this down, it's 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. That's only for one. But how many do they want us to compute? 600. So we need to multiply times 600. But it says here two things. Number one, they want it in scientific notation. Number two, you need to round your answer to the 2 decimal place. Two different things. And of course, the third part is that it needs to be written in a statement at the end. Yes? So here we go. Let's change this to scientific notation. The invisible decimal is to the far right. I move it twice to the left, and that becomes 6 times 10 to the second. We multiply that times this. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Once again, numbers times numbers, bases of the same kind times the base of the same kind. Do we have any like bases? Yes, these. So therefore that's 10. And what happens to the exponents when we're multiplying? We add 23 plus 2, that's 25 times. So now I just need to multiply 6.02 times 6. So let's see, what is 6 times 2? 12, carry 1. 6 times 0, 0, the 1 decimal place. 6 times 6, 36. All right. Is this scientific notation? No, we need to move the decimal one more time to the left. If we move it to the left, we need to add 1 here to the exponent of the base 10. So this becomes 3.612 times 10 to the 26. Am I done? Scientific notation is done. However, we need to round to the second decimal place. What is the second decimal place? The 1. Does that stay a 1 or does it go to a 2? It stays a 1. So this becomes, there are 3.61 times 10 to the 26 atoms in 600 grams of hydrogen is H, right? H. 10Q. Check your answer. Answer, you got that? Okay, good. Yeah, some of you keep forgetting the adding of the decimal, and some of you, when you round, somehow you take away something from here, so just be careful with that. Yes? Then, no. Let's go to number 4. Let me zoom in. Simplify. Oh, my bad. Yeah, we're on number 5. Sorry. Nice. Simplify. Parentheses. 2x to the 7 over x squared plus, s squared y to the 4th, and all that to the 4th power. What is the first thing we do? Anything without an exponent, we put a what? 1, so that we don't forget to distribute to that number. Okay? Here we go. Distribute. I start with the numerator first. So it's 2 to the 4th and x to the 28th. Don't draw all the arrows or the lines at first and then then do the multiplication, because you're going to forget to multiply. Now I'm going to go to the denominator. Times this, times this. So this is x to the 8th, y to the 16th. All right. Numbers with numbers. Is there another number here to divide the 2? No. So let's just simplify 2 to the 4th. 2 to the 4th is the same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. From there, same basis. X and x are the same base. What happens to the exponents when we're dividing? You subtract. So what is 28 minus 8? X to the 20, which is the only one that we did not do anything after we distributed. The y, and that stays in the denominator. Y to the 16. Tell your neighbor where the y stays. Y. No, I'm saying the y.
Negative.
Never mind. All right, let's go to number 6. Oh, by the way, hands if you got that. Okay, good. Let's go to 6. It says simplify the expression 64 1/3 plus 36 1/2. So let's see. Does this one have an exponent, which is a fractional exponent? Yes. Does the numerator have a number greater than 1? No. So at this point, we can change this. This one becomes what? Cube root of 64. What does that mean? The index tells us what number times itself 3 times give us 64. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes, so it's 4. Bring down the plus. This one, change it into a radical. The only thing when it's index of 2, we don't write the index. Is that correct? Anything greater than that, we do. So therefore, this is 36. What does that mean? It's an invisible 2. What number times itself gives 36? 6. Therefore, this is 10. And if you got that, okay, good. Do I need to slow down, or are we good? Okay, go to number 7. Number 7 says, simplify the expression square root of 16 w to the 4th z to the 3rd, and assume that all variables represent non-negative numbers. All right, so this one, copy that. This is number 7, and square root of 16 w to the 4th z to the 3rd. I'm going to start with the number first. Square root of 16, everyone, 4. So we're done with that one, yes? All right, next, w to the 4th. This one has an exponent, and it's a variable, so that means I'm going to write my index at this point. So what is 4 divided by 2? So this is w to the 2nd. I'm done with this one. I go to this one. 3 divided by 2 becomes 1.5, which ends up being, again, another radical. We cannot divide it. It has to be a number divisible by 2. Therefore, I need to rewrite this one. This becomes z to the 2nd times z to the 1st. How did I get that? You just take away 1 from that number and you make it an even number and an odd number. From there, we rewrite it. There it is. We no longer use this one. We're done with anything here. Now we're focusing here. What is 2 divided by 2? 1. So that's z to the 1st. We're done with this one. What's left by itself? Radical z to the 1st. And we got that? Okay, good. Yes? The 1 as the exponent? No, you can write z and z. That's fine. Without the exponent of 1. Go to number 8. Simplify. And once again, all variables represent non-negative numbers. Copy that one. Parentheses, a to the 4th, b to the 1/2, and all that to the 4th power, times 12th root of b to the 12th. Well, I'm going to start with the first expression, which is this one. I distribute. That is a to the 16. Distribute. That is b to the 2nd, because it's 4 times 1 is 4. And what is 4 divided by 2? 2. That's how you get that. Times. Now we focus on this one. What happens to the exponent and the index? You divide. 12 divided by 12 is 1. Therefore, are we done? No. Let's multiply same bases. This is not the same base, so therefore I bring it over here, a to the 16. These are the same base, so therefore, what is b to the 2nd times b to the 1st? That's b to the 3rd. And we got that? All right, good. Go to number 9. You guys see that? Yeah? Superheroes? Exponent superheroes? I can make a cartoon out of this. Let's go. You guys wouldn't sit through a cartoon with this? No? Be nice. It says, write the polynomial 6x minus 6x to the 3rd plus 14 in standard form. Give the green coefficient and classify it. All right, let me zoom in. So, how do we write in standard form? First, we identify the degree of each term. What is the degree for this one? 1, 3, and 0. And how are we determining the degree? By adding the exponents on the variable. So therefore, we write from highest to lowest, negative 6x cubed plus 6x plus 14. 14. Now it's in standard form. There it is. Leading coefficient, now that it's in standard form, we go with the first part, which is the number multiplying the variable, so it's negative 6. And what is the name of this polynomial? Addie, go. Cubic is the highest degree of 3? Whoa. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's 3. So that's how we get cubic. How many terms do we have? 1, 2, 3. So it is a trinomial. And if by now you still don't know those names, you have that table I gave you to memorize those names. Okay? What's that? Yeah, so the different names, you go first by degree. You start with 0 degree is what, guys? Constant, first degree. Second degree, quadratic. Third degree, cubic. Fourth degree, quartic. Fifth degree, sixth degree. 6, and everything after is just to the is, right? Kind of like Daffy Duck, right? The is degree. And of course the terms are only first term monomial, second term binomial, third term trinomial. Anything after that is just a polynomial. All right, let's go to number 10. All right, copy this one. It says subtract, parentheses, 3e to the third minus e to the second, close parentheses, minus, parentheses, e to the third plus 8e to the second minus 3. Now for this one, let's rewrite the whole expression, but we're going to start by distributing this negative inside the parentheses to the right. So we have an imaginary what? 1 there, so we distribute, that becomes negative 1e to the third. Distribute, that's negative 8e to the second. Distribute to here, that becomes positive 3. Now that I'm done distributing, I'm going to bring this one down. What is the invisible sign in front of this one? It's a plus, so that means, does it change anything? No, just bring them down. 3e to the third minus e to the second. Now we can combine. Start with the highest degree, which is 3. Is there another e to the third? Yes, right there. So we write it only once, e to the third. And we look at the coefficients. What is 3 minus 1? 2. All right, I'm done with that one. I'm going to go to the second degree, e to the second and negative 8e to the second. So I write e to the second. So this is an invisible what? Negative 1 and minus 8. That's what? Negative 9. And then at the end, just bring down the plus 3. Now, before we move on, look at it. Do we have any other like terms? No. This is totally different from that one because the exponents are different. So we are done. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Let's go to number 11. It says multiply. Copy that. Negative 6x to the 6, parentheses, 3x to the 6, plus x to the 5th, y to the 3rd. All right, let's distribute. We have one monomial times a binomial. So I'm going to distribute this one first times this one. Numbers times numbers, variables times variables. What is negative 6 times 3? Negative 18. What is x to the 6 times x to the 6? That's x to the 12. We're adding exponents. Let's go to the next term. This times this. Negative 6, what is the invisible number here? 1. So what is negative 6 times 1? That's negative 6. X to the 6 times x to the 5th, that's x to the 11, and then just bring down the y to the 3rd because there's no other y there. Can we combine like terms again? Let's see. Is this one the same kind as this one? No, therefore we're done. They have to be the exact same variable with the exact same exponents in order to combine. And if you got that? Okay, good. Number 12. Copy this one. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Some of your favorite. Yay. Okay. Parentheses 2/3 p to the second y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd z to the 5th times 12p to the second z to the fourth. All right. Since we have multiplication all the way through, there is no addition or subtraction. I'm going to multiply numbers times numbers and same basis times same basis. Okay, there we go. Do we have, this is a number. Is there another number? That's 12. So I'm going to multiply this one times 12. I'm going to write it here so you guys can see it. 2/3 times 12. I'm going to put that over 1. That becomes what? 24 over 3. What is 24 over 3? 8. So I'm done with the numbers. Now I'm going to focus with the variables. P. Is there another P? Yes, right here. So I'm going to write P. What happens to the exponents when we're multiplying? You add them. So what is 2 plus 2? That is 4. I go to the next one. Y to the third and y to the third. So we add 3 plus 3. That's 6. Z to the fifth and z to the fourth. Those are the same thing. That's z to the ninth. And we're done. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good? Yeah. Say that again. Let me go back. That's true. Thank you, Diego. What did we miss on this one, everyone? Standard form. Is it in standard form? No. So therefore, this is to the what degree? 14. This is 12. So it's negative 6x to the 11, y to the third, minus 18x to the second. Damn, Diego for presidente. We have been doing it on the test. What are you talking about? Yes, we have. Yes, I have. Yes. X to the, yeah, I did that to see if you were paying attention. All right. So what, don't forget standard form. Yay. What's that? There you go. You get a bus. There you go. All right. Hands, have you got this one? Yes? All right, let's go to number what? Is it in standard form? It's a monomial. Okay, let's go back to that one. Is this in standard form? Tell your neighbor why. No. We're talking about standard form right now. We're not talking about alphabetical order. Standard form. Yes, because it's only one term. This whole thing is one term. That's why there's nothing to move. Yes? All right. Woo! Number 13. Use distributive property and area model to compute the product. Yay! Copy this one, number 13. 4m minus 4, close parentheses, squared. First things first, I rewrite it. How do I rewrite this? Well, this becomes 4m minus 4 times 4m minus 4. Some of you are like, don't you just distribute, Mr. Q? No. This one you can't because there's a subtraction in between. You only do that, distribute the exponent when there isn't any subtraction or addition. All right, so let's see. Distributive property. 4m times 4m, that is 16m to the second. 4m times negative 4, that's negative 16m. We good? Next, negative 4 times 4m, negative 16m. Negative 4 times negative 4, that's positive 16. All right, let's combine stuff. Is there another m to the second? No. 16m to the second. Is there another m? Yes, this one. All right, what is negative 16 and negative 16? Negative 32m. m. Notice that I didn't do anything to the exponents because we're not, at this point, we're not multiplying anymore. We're just combining. So it stays as an m. Plus, just bring down the 16, and we're done with distributive property. My goodness, what's going on with my tablet? All right, let me zoom out for the area model. So you write 4m minus 4 and 4m minus 4. Therefore, what is 4m times 4m? 16m squared. What is 4m times negative 4? Negative 16m. What is negative 4 times 4m? That's negative 16m. And what is negative 4 times negative 4? Positive 16. All right, let's see. Start with this one. Is there another m squared? No. Bring it down. 16m squared. Combine like terms right here. That is negative 32m. And then at the end, bring down the plus 16. Can't combine anymore, so we're done. And oh, look. This is like that one. Hands if you got that. Now, where are my lazies that didn't write this twice? Let's see, hands. You didn't write it twice? There's always somebody. I'm like, I see you multiplying, but then you just do this. Look, some of you do this. You don't do this, and all you do, oh, it's right there, Mr. Q. Really? No. I want you to combine it to see if you multiply correctly the area model. That's the purpose of it, okay? How we doing? Yes? All right, hands if you got that. Exactly like that. Okay, good. Number 14. It says, a rectangular garden. What does that tell you? Draw a rectangle. Oh my goodness. All right, there it is. Wow. Woo! Then it says, where the length is twice the width. So let's say this is the length and this is the width. So, do we know what the width measures? No, so we're labeling it x. Up to right there, this is twice the width. So what do I write here? 2x. All right. Is to be expanded on both sides, this side and this side, by how much? 8 yards, which means we expand. That means we add 8. Add 8. Now, does it? Yeah, does it look familiar? Hello. So now, if that doesn't look familiar, then get this bottom one. Look up. Get this bottom one and move it up here. Now, all right, let's do the product. What is x times 2x? 2x squared. What is x times 8? Positive 8x. What is 8 times 2x? Positive 16x. What is 8 times 8? Positive 64. Let's see. This is 2x squared. This is positive 24x. And this is positive 64. You're going to write the area is this. And what? Yards. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, they give us the unit measure, which is yards squared. Hands, have you got that? Okay, good. I'm going to continue throughout the day to record the other problems, so hopefully by the end of the day I'll have all 30 of them on video by the end of today. Okay, so, yes, I did. Oh, boy. So, remember to go to the Nearpod and work on study guide 6X. Good one, guys. There is tutoring tomorrow. I'm going to continue the video. All right, let's continue. Number 15, it says, let me zoom in. Solve 9x plus 3 over 6 equals 8. Copy that equation, please, so we can do this one together. And then at the end, it says what? Check your answer. Once again, I said do the work on a separate sheet of paper. Thomas, you all right over there? Okay. Okay, this is number 15. We're going to solve this. Can you guys see from back there? There it is. All right. Line down the equal sign. I can't stop solving this one until I get rid of this 6. What is the 6 doing? Dividing. So what is the opposite? Multiply times 6, and we do that to both sides. This cancels. It doesn't cancel. It becomes a 1, but it fades away because we multiply it in. This becomes 9x plus 3 equals 6 times 8 is 48. Do we know what to do from there? Yes. Minus 3 minus 3. 9x equals 45. Divide by 9, divide by 9. X equals 5. Check your work on your study guide. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. But did you check? Because if you didn't check, that's minus 1 point. So then I go to check. I write my equation again. 9x plus 3 over 6 equals 8. But instead of x, I'm going to substitute the 5. 9 parentheses plus 3 over 6 equals 8. And I substitute the 5 here. What is 9 times 5? 45 plus 3 over 6 equals 8. What is 45 plus 3? That's 48 over 6 equals 8. What is 48 divided by 6? Is 8 equal to 8? Yes, and that's how you check. Hands if you got that. Okay, that was number 15. 15. Go to 16. Is the rhythm on cue? Get it? On cue? Bam! What did you say? No. Go to number 16 on fleek. Wow. It says solve and name the properties used. All right. So write this down. 3/5 x minus 1/2 equals negative 3/5. Negative 3/5 plus 1/2 x. All right. We have fractions all over the place. What is the first thing we do? We find the common denominator. This is number 16. So 5/2 and 5/2. What is our common denominator, Andrew? 10. So we multiply the entire equation times 10, but we only multiply the numerators. What is 10 times 3? 30 over 5, and bring down the x. What is 10 times 1? That's negative 10 over 2. What is 10 times 3? That's negative 30 over 5. What is 10 times 1? That's 10 over 2x. Let's write the property might as well so that we don't forget. What is the property we just used? Distributive property. All right, we're done with that one. Let's simplify. When we simplify, there is no property. We're just simplifying this step. So what is 30 divided by 5? 6x minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. Negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. Plus 10 divided by 2 is 5x. Once again, that is no property. We just simplified. So let's look at it. Line down the equal sign. How do we start solving? Let's see. Can we simplify the left side? No. Can we simplify the right side? No. We need to get all variables to one side. Where do I start? 5. So what is the opposite of a 5? Minus 5x minus 5x. We have x minus 5 equals negative 6. Let's write our property. What did we do to each side? Subtract it, so it's subtraction, property of equality. What's our last step here? We add 5, therefore x equals negative 1. And let's write our property. What did we do to each side for that step? added, so it's addition, property of equality. Hands if you got that. Hands if you forgot the properties. Oh, nobody did. Oh, green. Oh, thanks for the honesty. All right, good. Ah, too late, too late. All right. Just make sure, guys, when you're going through these problems, you read the instructions thoroughly. Does everybody know what thoroughly means? Completely. All right? Solve and name the properties used, because if not, everything that you forget is a point, and they start adding up pretty quick. All right? Go to number 17. Copy this equation. Same thing on this one. It says solve and name the properties used. Equation given is -7, open parentheses, -65u minus 75, close parentheses, equals -14, open parentheses, -4u plus 219, close parentheses. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so it can give me some space to do the work on this one. All right, here we go. What do I do first? Oh, yeah. Line down the equal sign. You got that, yeah? Okay, distribute. What is -7 times -65? 455u. Next, -7 times -75. Positive 525. Equals, let's distribute on this side. -14 times -4, that gives me, what is it? 56u. -14 times positive 219, that's negative. Let's see, 219 times 14, that is 36. I got 3, 7, 8, 9, what? 1, and 2. Did you guys see what happened there? Wait. Did everybody see what happened there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, and then it skips. Anyways, never mind. 6, 16, 10, 3, -3066. So far, so good? All right, can we simplify anything on each side? No, we get all variables to one side. Where do I start, everyone? Oh, hold on. Before I continue, let's write our property. What was the property that we did here? Distributive property. Make sure you write it every step of the way. I think that's the easiest way so you won't forget. So the smallest variable is what? 56u. So I subtract 56u from each side. Subtract 56u from each side. That gives me 399u plus 525 equals -3066. All right. What did I do to each side there? So the property is subtraction, property of equality. What's my next step, CJ? Subtract 525 to each side. Subtract 525 to each side. This cancels. We're left with 399u equals -3,500 and what? Whoa, what's going on? -3,591, is that correct? All right. What did I do to each side right here? So write it again. Subtraction, property of equality. What's our last step, everyone? Divide by 399. Divide by 399. If we divided, that is division, property of equality. The answer is going to be a negative. Look how easy this is. Look up. 9 times what number gives me a number ending in 1?
9.
Wait, what? Yeah, let me explain. Look up. Be nice. There it goes. 3,591 divided by 399. Here goes the explanation. This number ends in 9. This number ends in 1. What number times this 9 gives me a certain number that ends with 1? 9. Let's try that. What is 9 times 9? 81. I carry 8. 9 times 9, 81, plus 8, that's 9. I got 8 again. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 8, that's 35. Subtract, that's 0, and that's what you get. Yeah? I don't know. Hands if you got that by yourself with answer and properties. Good. Go to number 18. Let me zoom out. Number 18, it says, a fuel chain for a chainsaw is a mix of oil and gasoline. What are they mixing? Oil and gasoline. So when you get to these guys, especially that day of the partay, when we start on Monday, make sure you have your colored pen so it can help you throughout the entire assessment. So watch. Let me show you how to set this one up. I'm going to zoom in. It says, I'm going to use red. I'm going to use red first. Red will be for oil, and blue will be for gasoline. So which one they mention first? Oil. Which one do they mention second? Gasoline. So look at that ratio right here. What? Zachary, can you move please over here in the front? Come join Emma and Angeline. Thank you. All right, here we go. So what does the 5 correspond to, everyone? Oil. That is correct. So I'm going to label that in red, which means the 18 corresponds to what, everyone? Gasoline. That is correct. So why do I need that? Because now I need to set up a proportion. Make sure you make a note for that on your paper. Proportion for number 18. What does a proportion look like? A fraction equal to another fraction. That's why on the last partay I took some points away, because some of you just did this by playing computation. Some of you can do it in your noodle, right? But are you in elementary school? No, I said you need to create an equation using proportions. So how can I write 5 out of 18 in a proportion? I write 5 over 18. So now I need a fraction for the second part of the proportion, and they give me, there are 36 gallons. What color is gallons of gasoline? Blue. So this is blue. So let's see. Which was blue from these two? 18. So where am I going to place the 36? On the bottom, which leaves this one with X. Now that I have a proportion, what do I use? Cross multiply. So I'm going to start with the X. This times that. What is X times 18? 18X equals. Now I go to this one. What is 5 times 36? That's 180. Do we know how to solve that? Yes. Line down the equal sign, divide by 18, divide by 18, X equals 10. Am I done? No. No, we need to answer the question. What was the question? How many ounces of oil are there? There are 10 ounces of oil. As long as you give me that, I'm good. If you want to elaborate more, there are 10 ounces of oil when there's 36 gallons of gasoline. It's up to you. But as long as you write that, 10 Q. How many of you got that? Okay, good. Go to number 19. 19. Your speed okay? Am I going okay with the rhythm? Yes? Let's go to 19. What percent of 112 is 43? If necessary, round to the nearest tenth. Now for this one, two things. You need to find the answer, but at the end, the second part is what? Round to the nearest tenth. So those are two things. All right? With this one again. So the previous one was 18. This is 19. Once again, this one we need to use a proportion. What is the proportion I gave you for percent? Is over of equals percent over 100. Now that you have that, you write it in blanks. Blank over blank equals blank over 100. All right, let's see. I'm going to start with the is. Where does the is go? On top? And do they give us the is? Yes, that's 43. What is the of? The of is 112. All right, that leaves us here with the x for the percent. And once again, what does that look like? A proportion. So we cross multiply. We start with the variable, these two. What is 112 times x? 112x equals 43 times 100. So that's 4, 3, and 2 zeros. All right, let's solve. Line down the equal sign. Divide by 112. Divide by 112. X equals, and let's do the division. On division, I'm going to do that over here. Let's do, I'll do it right here so I can keep 4300 divided by 112. How many times does 112 fit into 430? 3, that's 336. Subtract 336 from 430, that's what is it? 94. Very good. Bring down the 0. How many times does 112 fit into 940? 8. Let's try 8. 8 times 2 is 16. I got 1. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1, that's 9. 8 times 1 is 8. Subtract. 940, take away 896, that's what? $44, man, Thomas, what a calculator. Add a decimal, 0, bring down a 0, that's 440, divided by 112. How many times does 112 fit in there? Well, let's see, 3 times was 336. 4 times would be 448. Oh, give me a second. Hold on, guys. All right, 112 fits in there 3 times. Is that correct? Yes, that's 336. Subtract. That gives me 104. So far, so good? Bring down the 0. 112 into 1040. How many times? 9. That's 18. Carry 1. 9 plus 1, that's 10. Carry 1. 9 plus 1, that's 10. Subtract, that gives me 32. Do I stop there?
Yeah.
Why do I stop there? Because they only want it rounded to the nearest tenth, which is the first decimal. So let's see. Look up, please. Does this stay a 3 or does it go up to a 4? So then therefore, look up, guys. this, instead of being equal, this is going to be a approximately 38.4%. Remember, when we round, if we do round, it has to be with the wiggles, yes? Approximately. So therefore, let's write a statement. It read, what percent of 112 is 43? Let's see. 38.4% of 112 is 43. 10 cubed. Yes? Yes, the approximately, yeah. Make sure you put that. And if you want to write it in here, that's fine, but as long as you write it there, it's all right. But if you write 38.4% is, instead of is, should be approximately, but that's fine. I'll take that. All right, let's go to number 20. Solve and graph. Yay, our favorite. All right, here we go. Copy this equation, please. Number 20. Absolute value of 6x minus 3, close the absolute value, plus 6 equals 12. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. All right, so let's do this one together. Ready? Here we go. Line down the equal sign. We need to leave the absolute value by itself. What's next to it? The 6. So we subtract 6, subtract 6. We're left with absolute value 6x minus 3 equals 6. Question. Is there anything outside the absolute value? No. So at this point, we're going to create two equations. One for my negative and one for my positive. So let's see. This is negative 6 and this one is positive 6. What do we write on the other side of the negative 6? We write equal sign and whatever is inside the absolute value. 6x minus 3. And over here the same thing. 6x minus 3 equals 6. And let's solve. I'm going to solve this one in red. Plus 3 plus 3. We end up with 6x equals negative 3. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals negative 1/2. We go to this one over here. Plus 3 plus 3. 6x equals 9. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals 1 and 1/2. Are we there so far? Yeah. All right, let's graph this. Let me zoom out a little bit now that I showed you the work. All right, so let's see. X equals negative 1/2. Negative 1/2 is right there. And x equals 1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2 is right there. Let's look at the whole work. Let's see. Are we done? No. Solution set. Negative 1/2, comma, and 1 and 1/2. Notice that this is not a coordinate because it's not a parenthesis. So what? A solution set. This is my solutions. Hands if you got that by yourself. Okay, good. Go to number 21. It says, a rental car agency charges $15 per day plus 12 cents per mile to rent a certain car. Another agency charges $21 per day plus 9 cents per mile to rent the same car. How many miles per day have been driven for the cost for the agencies to equal the cost of the car of the second agency? So for this one, let me see what the next problem is. Hold on. Oh yeah, we're still on multi-step equations. For this one, you start with 2 lines down because it's 2 agencies, 1, 2, and 1 across. I'm going to label the first one agency A, the next one agency B, and here the total. So let's see. Agency A, I'm going to do that in red, charges 15 per day. So how much from the very beginning? Plus 15. And 12 cents per mile. Since we don't know how many miles, how can I write 12x? But since it's not dollars, it's cents, it's 0.12x. We're done with that one. Let's write the other one. They charge $21 per day, so it's plus 21 and 9 cents per mile, 0.09x. When will the cost be the same? What is another word for same? Equal. So we write these 0.12x plus 15 equal to 0.09x plus 21. Let's finish this one before we leave. See? Smallest variable is 0.09, so we subtract 0.09x from each side. 0.09x. We're left with 0.03x plus, do I need to check your work or your ticket out of here? Then finish this one, please. 21 minus 15 minus 15, 0.03x equals 6. And lastly, divide by 0.03, divide by 0.03, x equals, let's see, 6 divided by 0.03. Move the decimal twice, add 2 zeros here, get rid of this one. 3 fits into 6 twice, that's 6, subtract 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So x is 200. That's how many what? Miles. However, they also want the what? Well, that's it. How many miles per day will during the cost to be the same? So then the answer is the agencies cost the same at 200 miles, 10Q. Number 22, it says, let me zoom in. It says, solve the inequality 8 times 2y plus 6, close parentheses, less than 8y plus 6. Graph the solutions and write the solution set. So copy that inequality, please. Switch the lights, please. There you go. Thank you. All right, let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, line down the inequality symbol. What do I do first, everyone? Distribute. What is 8 times 2y? 16y. What is 8 times 6? That's positive 48. Less than 8y plus 6. All right. Can we simplify the left side anymore? No. The right side anymore? No. We need to get all variables to one side. Which is the smallest variable? 8y. So I subtract 8y, subtract 8y. We're left with 8y plus 48 less than 6. Continue. I subtract 48, subtract 48. We're left with 8y less than negative 42. Lastly, divide by 8, divide by 8. Y is less than negative, what is 42 divided by 8?
5
1/4. I'm going to leave it as a decimal, 5.25. Okay? Let me zoom out so we can graph this. Negative 5.25. All right, here it goes. Here's 0. Negative 5 is right here. Negative 6 is right here. 2.5 is about right there. But is it an open or closed point? Open. So you just do an open point right there. All right. Now we need to shade. How do we shade? Well, we need to check first. Which point do you want to check? 0 or something on the other side of that? All right, so I'm going to substitute 0. Is 0 less than negative 5.25? No, that's false, which means we're not going to shade towards 0. We're going to shade in the opposite direction. That way. Away from 0, yes. So let's see. Did we solve? Yes. Did we graph? Yes. What else are they asking us to do? Write the solution set. So here we go. Let me zoom out. The solution set for this is solution set of y such that, and we write our last inequality, y is less than negative 5.25. Hands if you got that on your study guide. Good. Yeah, once again, we're checking our work, but at the same we're practicing again the work. Yes? All right. Go to number 23, Michael Jordan. Nice. Here we go. It says, solve the inequality and graph the solutions, then write the solution set. Pretty much the same process. However, now they give us a different type of inequality. So copy this one. This is number 23. We got negative 2, absolute value, x minus 9, close the absolute value, plus 1, less than negative 3. All right, let's do this one together. Here we go. Line down the equal sign, the inequality symbol. For these, we need to leave the absolute value by itself. Here's my absolute value, here and here. What's outside the absolute value? The negative 2 that's multiplying and the plus 1. Where do I start? With addition and subtraction. So what is the opposite of plus 1? Minus 1, minus 1. We're left with negative 2 times the absolute value, x minus 9, less than negative 4. Are we there so far? All right. Once again, what's outside the absolute value right now? The negative 2, it's multiplying. So what is the inverse? Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. We're left with the absolute value of x minus 9. Now check this out. Didn't we divide by a negative right now? What happens to the inequality symbol? It's switched. So what is negative 4 divided by negative 2? That's 2. Since the absolute value is already by itself, at this point we're going to make 2 inequalities. Here it goes. One this way for negative 2. Now, the 2 became a negative. Do I write the inequality symbol the same way? No, you flip it, and then you write whatever is inside the absolute value, x minus 9. Then we're going to make another inequality this way for positive 2. There's the positive 2. The inequality stays the same, and whatever is inside, which is x minus 9. All right, let's solve. I'm going to solve this one in red, so therefore I do what? Plus 9 plus 9. What is x? X is less than 7. Are we there?
Yes, Mr. Q.
All right, good. So this is 1. I'm going to do the other one in blue. Plus 9 plus 9. X is greater than 11. Make sure you make a note. Some of you didn't do 2 inequalities. Some of you just solved it for 1. that means it's incorrect. You're going to be like at least 3 points negative on that problem. So make a note for yourself. All right, let me zoom out so we can graph this. All right, so let's see. X is less than 7. All right, 7 is right here. Is it an open or closed point? Open. All right, so to find out where to shade, I'm going to test with 0. Let me substitute 0 here. Is 0 less than 7? Yes, that's true. If it's true, that means I'm going to shade towards 0. There you go. The other one is X is greater than 11. Let me go to the other one. Let me zoom out a little bit more. 11 is right here. Is it an open point? Yes. And I'm going to test, what number do you want me to test? You want me to test 0 again? All right. Is 0 greater than 11? That's false. That means I'm not going to shade towards 0. I'm going to shade the opposite direction, which is that way. What do you guys notice? That this is a what? Or. Therefore, let's write a solution set. Solution set of X such that, what is my first inequality? X less than 7 or X greater than 11. And we're done with this one. Hands, if you got that? We're good? Yeah, be careful with all these parts because there's a lot of stuff going on. From the negatives divided by a negative, make sure you don't forget to put the symbol and so on and so forth. Okay? All right, let's go to number 23 plus 1. All right, here we go. 23 plus 1. Yeah, let's go. And that was Isaac, by the way, with a snorting. All right, here we go. Give the domain and range of the relation and tell whether the relation is a function. So let me zoom in. Now, some of you, I saw you left this one blank. However, here we go. First of all, I'm going to take my vertical line test. Now, some of you, I told you to use a pencil. Go from left to right, right? Here we go. So let me do that. I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to scan it from left to right. Tell me the first X value that the line touches this graph, where the line touches that graph. Ready? Right there? So it's -3. So we're going to write the domain starts at what? -3. Now check this out. I'm going to continue scanning it, but notice that it touches that graph all the way. Is that correct? There are no breaks, so it touches all those points. What is the last point it touches on the X? 3. So watch. So then you're going to space it out, and you're going to write 3 at the end. That means that the X value is all the points between these two. Is that correct? That's why we write X between these two. And remember the arrows? Less than or equal to, less than or equal to. That never changes. Why doesn't it change? Because it includes all the values in between. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Dragon, you all right? Yeah, you need some coffee or something? No? All right, let's go to the range. Now you get your pencil, and now we're going to use the same one, but we're going to go starting from down here. Going from the bottom to the top. Tell me where is the first Y value that touches that graph. Let's see. -2. So you're going to write -2. I continue scanning. It touches all the way through. And what is the last Y point? 2. So you space it out, and this is 2. That means that all the Y values for this graph are between -2 and 2. That's why we write Y in between, and it's always less than or equal to and less than or equal to. So, Did we give the domain and range? Yes. What's the last part? Tell whether the relation is a function. Let's see. To tell whether this is a function, we do the vertical line test again from left to right. All right. I'm going to scan it from left to right. As soon as this bar, my scanner, touches 2 points on this graph, you say bam, and that's when it's not a function anymore. Ready? All right, let's see. It's only touching at 1 point. Bam. Well, guess what? If it touches here and here, therefore this is not a function. And if you got that? Okay, good. Does it say to explain? No, as long as you just say whether it is a function. All right, go to number 25. It says, determine a relationship between x and y values, write an equation. So it says write an equation, is that correct? For this one I said y equals blank, x blank. Here we go. Let's start with the x value going to the y. It was 1, it became 4. It was 2, it became 8. It was 3, it became 12. It was 4, it became 16. So I remember what's happening to x. Multiply by 4. Where did I say multiplication division went? Multiplication and division goes right here. Addition and subtraction goes right here. Since it's not adding or subtracting, we don't do anything at the end. So what number goes here? It's multiplying by 4. So my equation is y equals 4x. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Let's go to number 26. 26. Bless you. Bless you. It says, Michael Jordan wrote the sequence 192, 84, 76. Find the next 3 terms in the sequence and write a recursive rule. Now this one, I don't know if you guys remember in the 2 cumulative assessments ago, a lot of you were docked points because you didn't show, number 1, the recursive rule. Number 2, you didn't use the recursive rule to find me the values. So let's do that. Let me zoom out really quick. There we go. Quick review on recursive rule. Recursive rules, there's 2 types. There's the arithmetic and geometric. You guys remember that? Yes? So what's the difference from one to the other? Well, first of all, what is the same? What's the same for both? That they both start with f of n equals f of n minus 1. F of n equals f of n minus 1. They both start the same. You guys notice that they're both the same. The ending is different. When it's arithmetic, we add d, which is known as for difference, or the whatever the sequence, if they're adding or subtracting. The second one, the geometric, we don't add, we multiply times r, which is the ratio if there's multiplication or division. So let's find out what kind of sequence this is. Let's see. Here goes the process. Ready? How many terms do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What's happening from here to here, from here to here, from here to here? Tell your neighbor, please. Everyone? So subtracting 8. Is that the letter D or the letter R? D, because they're adding or subtracting. So D will be equal to -8. So what is my recursive rule? Here it goes. F of n equals f of n minus 1, and then minus 8. All right. So they want us to find the next 3 terms. Okay. So what is the next term that we need to find? We have 4. What is the next one? 5. So let's see. So I'm going to substitute in here. F of 5 equals f of 5 minus 1 minus 8. F of 5 equals f of 4 minus 8. Before I continue here, what is f of 4? Which means what is the 4th term? 76 is right here. So 76. I bring everything else down. F of 5 equals 76 minus 8. F of 5 equals, what is 76 minus 8? 68. And that goes right there. I'm done with that one. I want you to find me f of 6 and f of 7. And you're doing the work because you're practicing, right? Kind of like basketball. You need to practice, right? All right, let's see. Here goes the work for for f of 6. F of 6 equals f of 6 minus 1 minus 8. F of 6 equals f of 5 minus 8. Before I continue, what is f of 5, everyone? 68. That goes right there. So then we write f of 6 equals 68 minus 8. F of 6 equals 60. That goes right there. Hands, we got that? Very good. And last but not least, f of 7 equals f of 7 minus 1 minus 8. F of 7 equals f of 6 minus 8. What is f of 6? 60. So therefore, f of 7 equals 60 minus 8. F of 7 equals 52. And that goes right there. And we got that. Let's go. And once again, make sure you show the work for all the 3 terms. If not, I'm going to dock you. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Yeah, these problems at the end of the 3rd quarter, they're coming up with a lot of points, so make sure you keep up with your points. And let's go to number 27. Okay? All right, here we go. Number 27. Now for this one, we did this one already in the previous parte. Now we're doing this one. We did it on Saturday Academy for the study guide. We also did review and retake on Saturday Academy also for this one. So hopefully this one shouldn't be a problem, right? So on the blank sheet of paper, you're going to do that with me, or you have space way at the bottom that you can do the work. That's fine. But this is so that you compare the work that you did on your own. So here it goes. We're going to start with 2 given points. What are the given points? 3, 1, and 1, 5. What is the first thing they ask us to do? Part 1. They say, write an equation in slope-intercept form. So what am I going to write? Y equals mx plus b. That's the first thing we write. From there, what do we need from there? We need the slope, and we need a y-intercept to write our equation in that form. But since they do not give me either one of those, I know what to do with 2 points. I know how to find slope. So on the side, I write m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. I'm going to write it again underneath. M equals blank minus and minus. And you're writing this again with me, right, to get practice? Very good. On a blank sheet of paper, yes? And I said if you don't have a blank sheet of paper, you have space underneath, right? Okay? So before I label stuff in here, substitute values, I need to label my points. What are my points? This one is the first point, so I write x sub 1, y sub 1. What is this one? X sub 2, y sub 2. All right, now that I have that, let's start substituting. Y sub 2 is 5. Y sub 1 is 1. X sub 2 is 1. And x sub 1 is 3. Let's simplify this. What is 5 minus 1? 4. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2. If I simplify that, my slope is negative 2. Check on your study guide, hands if you got that. Okay, good. Now that I have that, I'm going to substitute that value into my original equation. So here instead of m, what do I write underneath? Negative 2. But I need a y-intercept. Do I have one? No. That means I need to solve for b. That means I need to substitute values for x and y. I need to pick one of these 2 points. Which one do I use, the first or the second? I'm going to use the first. So instead of x, I'm going to write what? 3 inside of parentheses. And instead of y, it's a 1. Bring down the equal sign. Plus b. Let's simplify this. 1 equals negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 plus b. Bless you. Bless you. And then to solve for b, I add 6. Add 6. 7 equals b. And if you got that by yourself. Okay, good. Now that I have my y-intercept and my slope, I can write my equation. Here it goes. Equation is y equals, what is my slope? Negative 2x plus what? 7. Hands if you got that. All right. Done with part A. Part B, it says, write an equation in slope-intercept form that is parallel to the line above. Okay. What do we know about parallel lines? That they have the same slope and different intercept. So look at this one. I'm going to rewrite it because it's the same slope, negative 2x. But what has to be different? The y-intercept. So who can give me a y-intercept? Okay, plus 23. This one is parallel to that one. Next, write an equation in slope-intercept form that is perpendicular to the line above. So perpendicular to this one. What do we know about perpendicular lines? That the slope has to be the reciprocal and inverse sign. So look at the slope for this one. What is the reciprocal of 2? Ethan.
Y equals 1 over 2x plus 23.
Let's see if it's true. The reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. What is the opposite or the inverse of negative? It's a positive. That is correct. It doesn't matter if the y-intercept is the same. It doesn't matter. All right. So we're done with this one. Question? No, you can put plus whatever you want to put at the end. It doesn't matter. The only thing that has to be true is that the slope has to be the reciprocal inverse. Let's go to the part D. It says, writing in equation standard form of the line that passes through the 2 points. Which line, look at this, guys, which of these 3 pass through the 2 points that were given at the beginning? I'll repeat that again. Which of these three passed through the 2 points given at the beginning? The first one. Didn't we get this equation from these 2 points? Okay, so they want us to write a standard form equation for the line that passes through the 2 points. So I'm going to use this equation for part D. I'm going to write y equals negative 2x plus 7 and write it in standard form. What does standard form look like? Having the x and the y on the same side. So therefore, laying down the equal sign, I need to get the x on that side, so I add 2x, add 2x. We're left with 2x plus y equals 7. Is this in standard form? Let me check. ax plus by equals c. Does this look something like this? Yes. Therefore, identify A, B, and C. What is A? What is B? And what is C? 7. And we're done with that one. Let me zoom out. Bless you. Look at that. Beautiful. For eBay. There it is. A poster? Yeah. Go to number 28. Be nice. 28. Let me zoom in. It says, Carla has $600 in her bank account. Each week she withdraws $60. Write and graph a linear function, bless you, that represents the amount of money Carla has left in her account after a certain number of withdrawals. So let's write first the equation. Write the linear function. Okay? So before we do anything, they're talking about a function. So I'm going to write f of x. We'll notice this here on the graph, it said instead of y, it has what? F of x, okay? Equals 2. How much did she start with? So we write 600. But then it says each week she withdraws. What does withdraw mean? Take away how much? 60. Do we know how many weeks? No, so it's 60x. I'm done with the first part of A, which is write a linear function. Piece of cake? Okay? And once again, the x represents the weeks, and the f of x represents the what? The money. It says, find, oh, I'm sorry, we are not done with A. What is the second part? Graph. All right. Now, there's two ways of doing this one. You can either, let's see, how many different ways do we know graphing? Talk it over your neighbor. Well, how many different ways do we know graphing? Okay, let's see. Yoel, how many different methods do we know for graphing? 3. What are they? Andrew. Slope-intercept form, which is the one that I just used earlier. What else? A table. That is correct. And what is the third one? Marco? Cover-up. That is correct. Slope-intercept form, table, and cover-up. Which method would you like to use to graph this? Cover-up? Okay, let's do that. So, if I cover up, and by the way, to do that, and so that we can, because I know some of you are looking at this and it looks kind of weird, let's change the f of x to what variable does f of x represent? Y equals 600 minus 60x. Okay, so let's use cover up. If we cover up the x value, look up. What do you see? Y equals 600. That's my Y-intercept. So let's plot that. Let's see. Well, before we do that, let's find the x-intercept. So I'm going to cover up now the y value. What do you guys see? 0 equals 600 minus 60x. Let's solve for x. What do I do? Minus 600 minus 600. Negative 600 equals negative 60x. And lastly, divide by negative 60. Divide by negative 60. 10 equals x. All right. So look at this. X represents what? Weeks. And this one is 10. By what, how many do you want to go on each of these? By 1? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10, let's extend this. Let's extend this way. And then plot your point. There it is. All right. Now look at the y. Now be reasonable here. Check this out. How much do they withdraw every week? So let's go by 60. That is correct, since we withdraw by 60. So this is 60. What is the next one? 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, 420, 480, 540, 600. So right there. So let's plot our point there. So this is our y-intercept. This is our x-intercept. And you graph your line. There it is. Now, for some of you that want to do more work, you can do the table. You have to do a computation for each value and so on. All right, let's go to part B. Find and interpret the x-intercept. Who can give me the x-intercept in a coordinate form? Luker. 10, 0. So that is finding the x-intercept. Okay, so we got that. Let's interpret. What does this mean? Tell your neighbor, please. What does this mean? Vanessa, what does it mean? Okay. In 10 weeks. Man, Vanessa, your voice. Yes. Continue. In 10 weeks. Be nice. Help her out, Justin. In 10 weeks, Carla has $0. That is correct. Next, part C, it says find and interpret the y-intercept. Give me the y-intercept, please, Alexa. 0, 600. That is correct. Interpret that. Pass someone, Alexa. Marco. In 0 weeks, Carla has 600 buckaroonies. That is correct. Part D, it says, find the appropriate domain and range for the situation. I'm going to start with the domain. Write D, bracket. We always start from the least to greatest. So look at the value of the x's. Where do I start?
0.
At 0 is correct. 0, and then?
1.
It goes by week, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and it stops at 10. That's the domain. That is correct. Marco. No, let's try to do this. Range. What is the range? Alyssa. Close. 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, 420, 480, 540, 600. All right? And that was number 28. Any question with it?
No, sir.
Straightforward, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 29. Just remember the domain, starting from the least to the greatest. Include the zeros, please. It says, for number 29, solve this system using any method. Look at it. Before we do that one, tell your neighbor what different methods do we know to solve a system of equations. All right, let's see. Oscar, go. Oh, my bad. Wrong class. Andrea, go. Andrea, different methods to solve a system. What? Okay, Connor.
Elimination, substitution, graphing.
And graphing, that is correct. Elimination, substitution, and graphing. Look at this one. What do you want to use to solve that? Which method? Zachary. Substitution? All right, let's use substitution. Here we go. So, I'm going to substitute the second equation into the first because the second one is already solved for y. What is y? X minus 3. So on the first equation, instead of writing y here, what do we write? X minus 3. So this becomes 4x and then plus x minus 3 equals 2. Let's solve that. Combine like terms, 5x minus 3 equals 2, plus 3 plus 3, 5x equals 5, divide by 5, divide by 5, x equals 1. What do we do with that value? Substitute again into one of the two equations. I'm going to substitute into the second one. So I write y equals x minus 3, but instead of x, I substitute the value of 1. So this is y equals, step outside, Connor, please, thank you. 1 minus 3. Y equals what? Negative 2. Are we done?
No.
No, they're asking us to what? To solve, which means you need to write a solution. What is the solution given those two values? 1, negative 2. Solution. Some of you do all the work, do this well, and sometimes you forget to write your solution. Yes? That's a good idea. No. No, on this one, you just choose a method and you go with it. Okay? All right. You graph it if you want to use the graphing method to solve. Okay, let's go to number 30. It says, graph the line graph the line with slope 1 that contains the point negative 6, 0. Slope 1 and the point negative 6, 0. So the slope has to be in fraction form, so it's 1 over 1. And the point that we start is negative 6, 0. What's negative 6, 0? Negative 6, 0 is over there. There's my point. Oh, let me move it over. Hold on. Right there? Yeah? We're using the point negative 6, 0. There it is. And my slope is 1 up, 1 to the right from this point. Let's see. 1 up, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1 up, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1 up, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1 up, 1 to the right, plot your point, graph your line. All right, here we go. So let's graph our line through those points. Yeah, the more points you plot, the straighter your line, okay? No, he's good. All right, here we go. Any questions with this one? Okay, let's go to number 31. 31. Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm going to walk you through this one more time. Here it goes. It says, an airplane travels 900 miles from Houston to Miami in 5 hours against the wind. On its return trip with the wind, it takes only 4 hours. Find the rate of the plane with no wind and find the rate of the wind. So for this one, how many lines down, everyone? 3. 1, 2, 3, and 2 across. Now this is what kind of problem? Rate and distance, right? So we start with rate times time equals distance. That never changes, right? What else doesn't change? This one, tail wind. What else doesn't change? Against wind. What else doesn't change? Tailwind is P plus W because the tailwind increases the speed. What else doesn't change? P minus W because against the wind decreases the speed. All right. Now we just need to worry about the last 2 numbers here. Let's see. What is the distance for the trip? 900. So that's 900 for both. There it is. Tailwind. They get there faster. Which is the smallest number? 4. That goes right there. And what is the longest one? 5. All right, let's write our equations. Our first one is P plus W parentheses 4 equals 900. And then the second one is in blue. P minus W times 5 equals 900. Are we there? All right. So this one, we get rid of the 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. We end up with P plus W equals 900 divided by 4. $225? $225. All right. This one we divide by 5, divide by 5. This becomes P minus W equals 180. Now let me show you some of the mistakes some of you made. Look up. At this point, you can combine like terms. What is W minus W? Cancel. What is 1P plus another P? That's 2P. What is 225 plus 180? 405. And at the end, we divide by 2. So the plane speed is 202.5 miles per hour. Am I done? No, I get one of the 2 equations. I'm going to get the first one. So I'm going to write P plus W equals 225, but instead of P, I'm going to write 202.5 plus W equals 225 minus 2025 minus 2025. The wind speed is 22.5 miles per hour. And of course, we write our statement, yes? Okay, statement. Justin, go. The statement. The plane speed. What? What? Anyway, the plane speed is 202.5 miles per hour, and the wind speed is 22.5 miles per hour. 10Q. Go to number 32.
What?
Oh my.
All right, problem number 32. Let me zoom in. And it says, without graphing, tell whether 3, 3 is a solution of the system y is less than or equal to 2x and y is greater than x plus 1. Without graphing, tell your neighbor what can you do to check to see if that point is on that solution and that system. Okay, I need one word answer. With one word, what do we do? Abraham. Be nice.
In one word, I was gonna say switch.
Okay, that's too many words. One word, Danny. Substitute. So you get one inequality, y is less than or equal to 2x, and the other one, y is greater than x plus 1. And we're going to substitute the values for x and for y into each of these, yes? So x is 3 and y is 3. So let's see. 3 is less than or equal to 6. Let's see if it's true. Is 3 less than 6? Yeah, so this one is true. But remember, for the system, both of them need to be true, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. This one, 3 greater than 3 plus 1. 3 is greater than 4. Is that true?
No.
False. What does that mean? That this is not a solution. Hands if you got that by yourself on your study guide. Good. Make sure you show work, because I saw when I was checking some of the work, I just saw some of you write, oh, no. Really? No? Wow. Make sure you write and show me the work as to why not. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 33. All right, here we go. Graph the system of linear inequalities. So let me move this here to the side. Hold on, let me zoom out really quick. Okay, now let me zoom in. Bless you. It says, this is number 33. Graph the system of linear inequalities and get two ordered pairs that are solutions, two that are not. So let me zoom in. There it is. All right. So here we go. I'm going to graph the top one in red. Here it goes. Where do I start? At positive 6. Where's positive 6 at? Up here. What is my slope? 2 down and 1 to the right. So I go 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Do it again. 1, 2, 1 to the right. Plot your point. Graph your line. Now, to find out what kind of line it is, to see if it's dashed or solid, you need to use the inequality. Let's see. What kind of inequality? Yes, it's a solid line because it has that equal sign. So here you go. So make sure you graph going through all the points, all the way through. There it is. But now we need to shade because it's an inequality, right? So what do I use? I use the y and the plus 6. All right, let's see. This says y is less than 6. We're 6 right here on the y-axis. What numbers are less than 6 on the y-axis? 5, 4, 3, 2, all of these right here, which means I'm going to shade everything below or to the left of this line. So I'm going to shade everything that way. All right, let's go with the second one. I'm going to switch to blue. Where do I start? At negative 4. Where's negative 4 at on the y-axis? Down here. And what is my slope? 3 up and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right, plot your point, graph your line. Now, to find out what kind of line, I need the inequality symbol. Let's see. Does it have an equal sign? No. Then it's a dashed line. It's a dashed line going through all those points. All right, now I need to shade. I bring the y and the -4 down. Let me read this. Y is greater than -4. Where's -4? Right here. What numbers are greater than -4 on the y-axis? -3, -1, 1, 2, 3, everything over here, which means I'm going to shade everything to the right. Look at this blue line, to the left, to the left of the blue line. So everything to the left of the blue line. Here's the blue line, this one, the dashed line, and I'm shading everything to the left. Now, the confusion that I've seen, look up please, the confusion that I've seen from some of you, you're like, oh, it's all these, so I shade everything to the left, and you forget to shade these right here. It's everything from this dotted line to the left. Do you see that? All right. So now that we have that, who notices where both shadings intersect? It's here, 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 and here. Yeah, it makes like a sideways house right here. You guys see that? All right. So then they want 2 solutions and 2 non-solutions. Okay, give me a solution, Maya. -6, -8, that works. -6, -8 is way over here. Give me another one, Victor. 0, -3, 0, -3, yep. Give me a non-solution, Dominique. 2 and -3. Let's see, 2, -3. Yep, that's a non-solution. And one more, Yamara. 7 and 2. 7 and 2. Yeah, that definitely is not a solution. Okay? And we're done with that one. That one's worth 8 points. So watch. 1 point for the correct line and 1 point for the correct shading of one line. That's 2 points. 1 point for the other line and the shading of the other line. That's 4 points already. And how many points did we write here? 4. So what is 4 plus 4? 8 points. However, if one of the shadings is incorrect, then you only get 3 points and it's -5. If one of the shadings is incorrect, that means that everything else is incorrect. You only get 3 points. So be careful with it. Go to number 34. This one you should have been able to do by yourself now at home, yes? Okay. Yeah, well, let me go over it because I need to record it also. It's being recorded, so I need to record all the problems. All right, here we go. It says, given the graph below, answer each part of the task. It says, write the solutions to the system y equals x squared 5x minus 6 and y equals 2x plus 4. Well, first of all, we know that the first equation is for the parabola, yes? So that is, let me zoom out really quick, sorry. That is line, we're looking at line number 1. Y equals 2x plus 4, that means the y-intercept is at 4. Let's see, where's 4 at? 4 is right here. And that means that that's line number 2. So looking at line 1 and 2, let me zoom in now. Look at line 2 and the parabola. Tell your neighbor the solutions for lines 1 and 2. All right, who said 2, 8 and negative 5, comma, negative 7? That is correct. Okay? So that was part 1. All right, part A. So negative, it's 2, 8 and negative 5, negative 7. Okay. Part B, it says, write a system using the quadratic equation and another equation. So let me write the quadratic again. Y equals x squared plus 5x minus 6, which means I need to come up with equations for the other lines. Okay, so let me go back to the graph and make equations for the other graphs. Let's see. I'm going to focus right now on number 3. Look at number 3. Tell your neighbor the equation for 3. I heard you say y equals 8. That is correct. That's for number 3 because it's going through 8 right there, and it's 0 slope. Look at line 4. Tell your neighbor the equation for line 4. Y equals 0. That is correct because it's going through 0 and it's a flat slope. Okay? All right, let's look at line 5. Be careful with this one. Let me get you started. Y equals mx plus b. What is my y-intercept for line 5? 1, so it's plus 1. Bring down the y equals blank x. Now we need the slope. I need another point from here. What point do you want me to use? Negative 1?
5. 5, negative 4.
5, negative 4 is right there. Okay, so let's see. To get from here to here, how many steps down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's negative 5. How many to the right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means negative 5 over 5, which is what? Negative 1. So it's y equals negative 1x plus 1. That is correct. Now, before we do line 6, to save time, look, isn't line 6 parallel to line 5? So what does that tell you about this equation compared to this one? Same slope, so different y-intercept. So it's y equals negative x. Tell your neighbor the y-intercept for that line. Negative 6. That is correct. Be nice. All right, so now that we have that, let me zoom out. Which equation do you want me to use to do the other system? Y equals 8? Okay, y equals 8. So now we're looking at line 1 and line 3. Line 1 and line 3. Look at those, line 1 and line 3. Tell your neighbor the solution to that system. Line 1, which is a parabola, and line 3, which is this one. Tell your neighbor the solution, please. Okay, I heard somebody say 2, 8 and negative 7. Negative 7, 8 is up here. Negative 7, 8. That is correct. So 2, 8. We write that here. 2, 8 and negative 7, 8. And you guys are experts at these already by now. The last part, check this out. Write a system of linear equations. So look at all the equations that we have. Look at these. Look at them. Tell your neighbor how many linear equations do you see there on the graph right now. No, there's 5 straight lines, but on the graph, how many do you see written equations, linear equations? 4, because the other one is on part A, remember that? So can somebody give me a system using 2 of those? Armando. Y equals negative x plus 1 and y equals 8. Is that a system of linear equations? Yes. Look at them. So we're looking at line 5 and line 3. Find me the solution to that system. Tell your neighbor, please. Solution to that system. 5 and 3. Okay, by now you should see it. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Negative 7, 8 is correct. That's the solution to this system, and that's how you do number 34. Piece of cake? All right, let's go to number 35. Bam, let's go. All right, 35. It says, use the equation, look up, y equals x squared minus 8x plus 12 to answer the question below. What's the question? Write the roots of the equation. Tell your neighbor what that means. Okay, let me repeat that again. Write the roots of the equation. What does that mean? Solutions. Jomara from the corner. I'm sorry. Brisa M from the corner. Sorry. So, if those are the solutions, what do we do? Focus, please. What do we do? Factor. Step 1, what do we do? Is it in standard form? Yes. Step 2, change y equal to 0. So let's see. 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 12. Now we factor. 12, negative 8. Factors of 12 that add up to negative 8. Negative 2 and negative 6. So therefore 0 equals x squared minus 2x minus 6x plus 12. Group. GCF here is what? X. We're left with x minus 2. GCF here is negative 6. We're left with x minus 2. All that equal to 0. Let me zoom in a little bit. From there, we get 0 equals x minus 2, x minus 6. Next step. You done with ZPP?
You know me?
X minus 2 equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. Let's solve. This is plus 2 plus 2. X equals 2 plus 6 plus 6. X equals 6. These are my solutions. X-intercepts, zeros, roots. Let's see if we can answer the question that they asked. What was the question? It said, use this equation to write the roots of the equation. So what are my roots? X equals 2 and x equals 6. So we're going to write that right there. X equals 2 and x equals 6. Now, if we were to write this in coordinate form, what would this be?
2, 0.
2, 0, and this one?
6, 0.
6, 0. That is correct. All right, let's go to part B. Graph and label the equation using the intercepts. Okay. X2 is right here. X6 is right there. And what other, let me zoom out. What other intercept do we need? The Y-intercept, which is 12, the constant. So let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, way over here. All right. Therefore, from left to right, arrows at the end. Okay? Now, check this out, guys. Notice that here when we solve the quadratic equation, we solve using factoring. What other two methods, before I move on, do we know in solving quadratic functions or equations? Talk about the name. What other two methods? No, that's a shortcut. All right. What are the two methods, Skylar? The table, which is graphing. So we got factoring, we got graphing, and we're missing one more. Pass it to someone, Skylar. Who? Dominic. That is correct. Once again, factoring, graphing, and completing the square. Who remembers completing the square? Divide by the leading coefficient, eliminate the constant, add b over 2 squared to each side, yada, yada, yada. Remember that one? Okay. All right. Let's answer the last question. The last question. It says, what is the solution to, focus please, what is the solution to any quadratic equation? Talk about your neighbor. What is the solution to any quadratic equation? What is the solution to any quadratic equation? Haley. The X-intercepts, comma, continue, Caesar. I'm sorry? Amaret. What? Zeros. Comma, continue, Abraham, roots. Yeah, we already have that. What is the solution to any quadratic equation? So yeah, solution, x-intercept, zeros, and roots. And at the end, just write 10Q. Yeah, just explain. Good. All right. I'm going to stop right there. The video I'm going to upload right now, but remember your study guide. Make sure you go to Nearpod and look at study guide 6X. Do as many as you can tonight, and we'll go over some questions tomorrow. Tutoring today, yes. The what? Yeah. A good one, guys. Enjoy your home play. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.